Hey everyone, welcome to another installment of Harry Potter Theory. In today's video, we're going to be discussing Professor Sybil Trelawney, Albus Dumbledore, Severus Snape, Hogsmeade Pub, and the fabled prophecy. More specifically, we're going to be taking a look at Trelawney's prediction and discussing why she was taken seriously. The thing is, Sybil Trelawney, despite having a proven track record of predicting things, does not have a particularly good reputation, and that is mainly because divination as an area of magic is not particularly well received amongst the wizarding population. Divination is an elective course taught at Hogwarts from 3rd year onwards. In essence, it's essentially the art of predicting the future. There are various ways to achieve this, and methods include, but are not limited to, tea leaves, fire-omens, crystal balls, palmistry, cartomancy, astrology, and dream interpretations. Despite divination's proven legitimacy, it is often the target of considerable scrutiny, even by some of the brightest witches and wizards. McGonagall once described it as one of the most imprecise branches of magic, and Hermione outwardly disrespected Trelawney during one of her divination lessons, a testament to her perception of it as a field of magic. In fact, even Dumbledore had his qualms with divination, despite recognizing it as a legitimate field of magic. I think that he knew that it was real, but did not necessarily believe that it could be achieved by many people, a skill reserved for a highly specialized and select few. In fact, when Dumbledore interviewed Trelawney for her position at Hogwarts, he was initially quite unimpressed. On a cold, wet night 16 years ago, in a room above the bar at the Hogsmeade Inn, I had gone there to see an applicant for the post of divination teacher, though it was against my inclination to allow the subject of divination to continue at all. The applicant, however, was the great-great-granddaughter of a very famous, very gifted seer, and I thought it common politeness to meet her. I was disappointed. It seemed to me that she had not a trace of the gift herself. I told her, courteously I hope, that I did not think she would be suitable for the post. I turned to leave. But of course, just as he turned to leave, Sybil Trelawney entered into a deep trance, foretelling the fabled prophecy. The same prophecy that would flip the wizarding world upside down. The one with the power to vanquish the Dark Lord approaches, born to those who have thrice defied him, born as the 7th month dies. And the Dark Lord will mark him as his equal, but he will have power the Dark Lord knows not, and either must die at the hand of the other, for neither can live while the other survives. The one with the power to vanquish the Dark Lord will be born as the 7th month dies. And what's interesting about Sybil Trelawney telling this particular prophecy is that it seemingly legitimized her ability to predict the future. In Dumbledore's mind, it solidified her ability to practice what she preached. However, my issue with this is that if the events she foretold hadn't yet occurred, how could her prediction be valid? How could this have changed his perception of her? Couldn't she be making it up? She had every reason to fake her ability to tell the future, particularly as it came at the end of an awful interview. Even Snape, who overheard a portion of her prophecy, took it at face value and accepted that it was in fact valid. So why? Why did people listen to Trelawney's first prophecy? I think that it's for a couple of reasons. Reason number one is that Trelawney came from a long line of validated seers. In fact, one of her ancestors was Cassandra Trelawney, a witch who had become famous for her ability to predict the future. However, I seriously doubt that Trelawney's heritage alone was enough to convince Dumbledore, especially with how the interview was going. So I think that this second reason is also important. In Dumbledore's pensive memory, the following is revealed about Trelawney's prediction. But when Sybil Trelawney spoke, it was not in her usual ethereal, mystic voice, but in the harsh, hoarse tones Harry had heard her use once before. The one with the power to vanquish the Dark Lord approaches. This reveals that Trelawney was not just spouting off nonsense, she was in a legitimate trance, a trance that was clearly convincing enough to validate her predictions. Dumbledore and Snape are no fools. They are highly perceptive individuals, and they knew exactly what was happening. And that's it for this video. Did you guys ever wonder why Trelawney was taken seriously the first time around? Let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, your aura is pulsing. Are you in the beyond?